So it has been about three three months 3 months since the last upload. A lot of you probably wondering where the hell I've been. So let's just cut right to it. Well, I say cut. I'm not actually cutting this. This will probably not be very heavily edited. So back in April, not a huge number of you, good little chunk of you though, saw the hiatus video, which I was announcing I was taking a hiatus, and then I actually didn't right away. But then I wound up finally taking that hiatus like 2 months later. So, since most of you did not see the hiatus video, a bunch of you did, a bunch of you probably know what I'm about to talk about. So, back in April, it was on Easter Sunday, my dad passed away because prior to that, earlier during the week, I don't know the full details of it, but while he was at his workplace, he was having some problems. Prior to this, a few months prior, he was also having some health related issues, which again, I did not know the full details of because, well, he's lived on his own for since I was like 4. Because my parents divorced when I was 4. That's a whole other story, though. So he had been on his just on his own since then, pretty much. And yeah, so a few months prior to that, it was like February or something, was actually the first time I had seen him in a while, and that was a visit to him in the hospital because, well, he was having some health related issues, so he was in the hospital. At that time, thought that he was getting better after that. So that was the last time that I spoke to him in person, was back in February. And then for his birthday the next month in March, I texted him happy birthday. Not a long conversation at that point, but last time I actually spoke to him face to face was February, which had been the first time I had talked to him face to face in a long time. Then we fast forward to April. We get notified that he well, at first we were told he passed out at work and then wound up at the hospital again, which we then later found out that well, when he passed out this time, his heart had also stopped. So and at that time, I guess his bosses were they were about to take him to the hospital anyway because he was not doing well, but they weren't actually with him as because they were waiting for him to come down to their vehicle. So they weren't actually with him, even though they knew it was not good. So then I don't know, we don't know how long it took before they went back up to, he worked at a motel. So he was in one of the rooms. They went back up to the room and then found him. And so we don't know how long his heart was stopped for, but long story short, by the time that they did find him, he was already gone. He was technically still alive, but he had already suffered too much brain damage. So yeah, several days later, Easter Sunday, was when he did finally pass away. So the hiatus video was made before that Sunday, and I said I was going to be taking time off at that time because of what was going on, because, I mean, I don't need to explain why, but I didn't at first because I really needed to do something to keep my mind off of things. So I kept going with the videos because it was just helping me have something to work on to just avoid, thinking about it. And so I mean, I kept working on videos despite saying I was going to take that hiatus because I just needed something to keep me busy. So that I kept going with the videos for a few months. But the thing with that is, like, I needed a distraction, and the videos did help while I was working on them. But for one thing, it's not like I've ever really done the daily uploads with my Linux videos, and each Linux video takes like each one of them took like maybe a few hours each to make, but a few hours out of the day, it's like it helps for those few hours to keep my mind off of stuff, but then once I'm done with the video, I'm just right back to being alone with my thoughts basically. And it wasn't really working. So we get to June. The last video I put up was on Zorin OS, and then, not long after that, like, I mean, that was 2 months after he passed away, but I was still just, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. So 2 months later, I do that video, and then shortly after that, I start playing an old favorite MMO of mine again, and that's basically been my biggest time sink since then. And honestly, playing that again did help a lot because it helped me keep myself busy with more things to do. So that did help, and that's basically the gist of where I've been the past few months, is just coping, I guess. And not only that, I did also 2 weeks ago now, I also started college, so getting some positive stuff going at least. But yeah, I guess the gist of it is, even though I was still pushing forward with videos immediately after it happened, it, I mean, that kind of thing just stays with you. So, long and short of it is, even though I didn't take the hiatus I announced right away, I still wound up taking that hiatus basically for the reasons said within that video, because it was a difficult time. And, well, I feel like I'm about ready to get back to doing the Linuxy videos. So, a couple things that I have planned coming up. There's a newish music player for elementary OS here called Byte. It's pretty simple, and it works well in like a smaller size window. It also, well, it doesn't look as good bigger, but it does work as like a more compact music player, which I kind of like. So I'm going to do a video covering that. When the Ubuntu 19.10 beta comes out, I'm going to be covering that. And otherwise, I will be keeping an eye out for interesting new elementary OS updates. They did recently do their new onboarding app as well as the new greeter. I'm not going to look at those in video form yet, but I will be getting... I'm probably going to wait... Unless there's some big change between now and then, I'm probably going to wait until Elementary OS 5.1 to then kind of do like a roundup of those sorts of changes. So we'll see until that point. But anyway, that's about it for this video. That's where I've been the past few months. And I've got to say, despite taking a 3-month hiatus, somehow my numbers on YouTube have been good still. I don't know how. Oh, I also passed 3,000 again. I guess that happened at some point during the hiatus, so that's pretty cool. Uh, I don't know how the numbers have still been good despite being gone for 3 months, but thank you guys for still watching my stuff despite me being gone. Hopefully I can get back into the swing of things. We can keep the momentum going, spread the good words of Linux and open source software and elementary and stuff. further. Till next time, this has been Axel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all back in my next regular video. Take care.